You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, super excited about the work week that we have just finished up. It has been a busy couple of days. Actually, as you guys are probably listening into this podcast episode, we are planting a couple of commercial accounts with all their flowers, which we try to get those all in by Memorial Day and absolutely beautify the place. And we got a little bit of that going on today, some weed control, and should be buttoning up the afternoon, real time, about noon 1, 2, and kind of enjoying that 2.5 day weekend. Normally we get a 3 day weekend, but the guys have been on notice that we are working a couple Fridays, through spring, as you guys can imagine, just, getting all the work done. But absolutely jamming week this week, crushing it with lawn maintenance, some cleanup, some new commercial accounts, which is what I want to talk about today. Maybe just give you guys some tips, some pointers, about how we acquired 3 new commercial accounts just here in the last week or so. I like hearing, testimonies. I like hearing success stories. I love hearing how other people are, winning, and maybe this can just help you guys out real time. Not here to, be a guru on any of this stuff, but I thought there was some really good takeaways from 3 of these different accounts that we picked up. And I thought there were just some helpful nuances that maybe you guys can learn that would maybe help you guys pick up accounts as well when you have some of these conversations, or if you come up to these conversations, you know how to answer them or handle them to a manner that would be satisfactory with you earning the account, and also more on your terms, right? I'm all about compromise, but at the end of the day, we don't want to give up the farm and we don't want to make less money. And so all 3 of these accounts, they wanted to start at one price, and we got them for a better price. They wanted certain terms and conditions, and we were able to upsell them to what we wanted to do, which is, of course, have a better business, more money, more revenue, and just take better care of the sites for these people, right? And so, anyway, I just thought it was some helpful tips, some helpful nuances. We're still getting calls left and right this time of year, which is absolutely wild. It is the spring rush, but what I mean specifically is I'm getting 10, 15, 20, 30 calls a day for lawn maintenance, and it's absolutely crazy this time of year. Hopefully you guys are participating the same. If not, I would really encourage you guys to check out your marketing, checking out your Google My Business listing. By the way, all 3 of these leads came from our new website. We're getting about 20, 30 leads a month off of our website right now, which is just awesome. About 10% of those are commercial, which is where literally all 3 of these accounts came from. And that is, again, we say all the time on the podcast, Wayne Gretzky, right? And one of his favorite lines and favorite sayings, and I'm never going to give it up, is how was he the most successful scorer in the league? He skated to where the puck was going. So he had to anticipate. And so last year, I said I want to get more commercial accounts, larger HOAs, some bigger sites as our company continues to grow and we get more ambitious with what we want to do. So we had to plant that seed 6, 8, 9 months ago to be able to put ourselves in a position today. And Liz was actually complimenting me and saying, dude, you are crushing it. Like, way to go. And I said, thanks. I said, I'm not a guru. I said, but, like my friend and brother, I guess, brother and / sometimes friend, right? Because we're brothers. But my brother, Adam with Brandon Bull Inc., he says, hey, if you want to win the lottery, you got to play a ticket. You got to at least buy a ticket. You can't expect to win if you, don't buy a ticket. Well, you can't get a lead if you don't have a website. You can't get a lead if you don't buy a postcard or invest into marketing, right? And so nonetheless, just these 3 accounts alone, probably, 10, 12 grand, maybe total worth of work, 3 small to medium sites. But this alone already is going to pay in year 1 a 10x dividend of what I paid for my website. At least a 5 or 6x, if not a 10x, right? And so any which way, I just thought that was really helpful stuff. If you guys need a website, mention us, we'll save you $100. Go to brandonbullinc.com. You guys know Adam's my brother, but that's his website business. But nonetheless, I just wanted to put that in there really quick. So what I'm going to do is I got 3 sites. I'm going to go through the initial call, the initial conversation, talk about the conversation about how we positioned ourselves to be the provider, and then hear the real issues that the people had with those sites, and then what we were able to do to increase the revenue per ticket, right? To increase the revenue that, let's say the account was worth $2,000, we got it for $4,000. And let's say it was worth 5, we upped it to 7. Let's say it's 7, we upped it to 9. Or they wanted it a certain amount of services, and we quoted 9, but they wanted it for 6. They wanted it for 7. They wanted it for 4. We quoted 4. They wanted it for 2. Right? And how we were able to bridge that gap. I think these are really helpful conversations. I always love, look, success is success. There's a finite amount of success that you have to learn, thought process, skill sets, disciplines, mindsets. But after that, it's rinse and repeat. And what you're looking for then is the nuances. Then you're looking for those 1 degrees, those 1% to get better, right? That's my life. I was very unsuccessful from 20 to 30. We are starting to become more successful from 30 to 36. But I'm always looking for those 1 degrees, those 1%. Right. And those help you when you have these different conversations, whether it's with different people, different customers, different conversations that you have out there. And that's the I always called the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the BJJ of business, is the dodging and the weaving, the blocking, the tackling, the grappling, right? It's all these little nuanced moves that you guys can learn to sharpen your sword, sharpen your craft, and to, make more money. That's what it's all about. All right. So that being said, wanted to do this really quick. We're going to hear from today's show sponsors and announcements. I know you guys love hearing from those just as much as I do. I really do love hearing from all the show sponsors and all the different companies that do get to support the podcast. It wouldn't be here without them. This is a for-profit enterprise because I'm not in the philanthropy stage of my life just yet. Maybe another 20 or 30 years. I'm still in the accumulation phase because, I still got to accumulate the house, the cars, the watches, and just some financial independence and some financial security, right? But that being said, we do run things for profit, and I'll tell you what, production costs are not free. Podcast mixers are not free. This headset that I'm wearing right now is $250, whatever it is. Those are not free, and time away from the business that we could be producing in the field at $150 an hour per guy is not free. So any which way, I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to the sponsors, where everybody always slashes and bashes sponsors and companies and everybody that gets involved with people's making content. I'm going to be on the other side of the end of the spectrum. I think that they are a great thing. I think they're a great part of the relationship. I think they're awesome. And I'm very, very grateful for all the people that do sponsor our show and get involved with our content, both on YouTube, the podcast, our newsletters, and so much more. So that being said, I want to give them the time of the day because I do appreciate them. And I do appreciate a lot of their products and services. Pretty much all of them that sponsor our show we use, go figure. And so I just want to say a quick thank you to all the guys that have sponsored our podcast, past, present, and future. With that being said, let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer, and then we're going to talk about making some money right after this.
When it comes to running a lawn and landscape business, there's always something to worry about. Are my drivers and crews doing their job? Are my clients happy? Are my trucks and machines safe? How can I make more money? Where can I save some money? With GPS Track It, you don't have to worry about it, because our software gives you a level of clarity and control over your business that you've never had. From real-time vehicle and asset tracking and optimized routing to efficiency reports and more, reach your fullest business potential. Call 866-845-1410 or visit gpstrackit.com/BrianLM to get started. That phone number and special link are in the show description. GPS Track It.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump right back into it here. A couple quick announcements, and then we're going to break this down and make it a short and sweet podcast episode. Number one, Equip. A lot of you guys have been buying your Equip Expo tickets. Super appreciate that. Promo code Brian saves you 50%. By the way, if you guys see people asking for a code or need a code, you guys have been, I saw an Instagram post where somebody had shared, use promo code Brian. That's what we use, and you can save money because somebody was asking if somebody has a code. Now, I know in the quote-unquote influencer world, everybody and their brother's got a code, which is great. Everybody does get a kickback, full transparency. But nonetheless, I appreciate when you guys share our code to other people. You guys could share anybody's code. Thank you guys for sharing our code. If you guys haven't registered yet for Equip Expo, it is the largest green industry expo that is down in Louisville, Kentucky. I think October 17th through the 20th. We're going to go all week, Tuesday through Friday. It's going to be just a jamming time. I mean, it's 650,000 square feet. I think last stat I officially heard of warehouse space, of showroom floor space, expo space. Every brand that you can imagine in the country is there. The biggest conference, the biggest trade show, if you will, is in Louisville, Kentucky this fall. Toro, Axmark, Steel, Gravely, LMN, all the different brands and companies. And dude, I mean, hundreds, if not thousands of vendors will be there. My brother, Brandon Bolt, they will be there, and so much more. But if you guys have never been, I encourage you to go. I always say, go at least once. We have our live event, Launchpreneur Academy, live in November. That'll be on November 11th. If you guys want to save the date, tickets will be on sale in just a couple of weeks here. That's a must. That is a non-negotiable. That is anybody I wrap up a coaching call with. I say, hey, can't wait to see you at LAL in November. To me, it is a non-negotiable. If you want to grow, that's where you go to grow, to learn. That's going to help you grow your business. If you want to see shiny paint, get to hang out with some other lawn care friends, and check out something that might be able to help your business grow, I encourage you to go to Equip Expo. You can go to both, by the way. Equip Expo, you can go every year, every other year. That's totally fine. LEL for us is a non-negotiable. We go to it. We go to learn, and that's 2 quick save the dates if you guys want. October 17th to the 20th, Equip Expo. Promo code Brian. We're going to be, by the way, running it back with Energize. We just got some marketing videos and photos that the team put together from Equip. Dude, Energize was a banger. It was a free event. It's part of the your ticket price, and that is on Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Unless they change the date, I will let you guys know. But there was 350 people there last year. My friend Paul helped me MC that with also Blake Albertson and Mike Andes. Just a really, really good time. We're going to be shifting gears. I got a couple other great panelists that we're going to be doing it with this year. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to be talking sales and marketing, and I'm bringing out the big guns. If the first guys weren't already great enough, we're going to be bringing out even bigger guns. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be me hosting 3 juggernauts of green industry business owners. Everybody's got 8-figure plus businesses. It's going to be just a wild time. They are straight shooters. Okay. And then Energize. And then last thing I got, like I said, LEL tickets are going to go on sale in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Same thing, dude. We've got some heavy hitters coming. I'm literally doing everything I can to help you guys grow real companies. Our business was up $100,000 last year. We're going to be up another $100,000 this year. We're not even trying just yet. Okay. I'm having a baby. We're building a barn. We had a baby. We're building a barn. We're building a house. We're growing the company by 6 figures this year, if not more. And we're not even really trying. I said it humbly, but Liz and I are getting more ambitious to take this thing to $1 million pretty quick here. But if we're growing, it's because we're putting out good thought process, not only for you guys, but for our team, for our crew, our company. We are growing just like you guys are. Okay. We're in the thick of it with you. We're not just, resting on our laurels and making YouTube millions. You know what I mean? If that was the case, I'd pay cash for my barn and pay cash for my house. Oh man, we might run some whole ball of wax promo for the barn build if you guys know what I'm saying. I'm getting my quotes back for concrete, my doors, and the loft that I plan to go in there outside of the shell. And so any which way, we might do some summer sales. So stick around, maybe late June, July, if you guys are eyeballing the whole ball of wax. One other quick last thing, we'll get into it. A couple quick just housekeeping things here. We got one more podcast episode and shop tour with my man Sam Rankin with Etch Outdoor. He's going to be coming on Monday. Don't miss it. He's the last person on the shop tour series for the spring. That was brought to you guys by Steel, Equipment Defender, Cujo Yardware, and Yardbook. It has been so cool to see the videos, the shops, the companies, the equipment, how people are doing these things, growing their companies. And Sam and Etch are crushing it. They just had an acquisition. They're going to do about $3 million in revenue this year, about 30 team members. They're actually over in Ankeny, Iowa with my man Corey Ballard, like 1 mile down the road from Perfect Cut. So if they can still chisel out a $3 million company, in the shadows of a $35 million juggernaut company, you guys can do it too. And I think Sam is the ripe old age of 25, maybe 25, 26. I don't even think. He just got engaged and just a stud. But any which way, that's coming on Monday. A couple weeks from now, fast forward, we're going to be doing the Lawntrepreneur series, the Lawntrepreneur series. We're going to go on tour and visit 6 other teenagers for the summer that are crushing it. Every one of them are doing 30, 50, 100 grand in revenue at like 17, 16, 18. Got 6 kids already in the lineup. I call them kids because they're half my age, but nonetheless, that's going to be the next series coming down through summer. And for all of you guys that are younger looking to start a lawn care business, that will be for you. All right. Let's break it down really quick here. Let's talk about these 3 different companies. We got two commercial companies and one is a nonprofit. Okay, so let's do this really quick. I'm not going to use the name of the business. Go figure. let me just go through this really quick, and I don't have a workflow. I just jotted down a couple quick notes for each one of these. First off, you got to have a web presence. I'm telling you, to get commercial sites. Unless you know somebody who knows somebody, or you have a lawn care customer who maybe is like the office manager or HR manager or owner, which is very typical of the company. It's hard to get commercials that way. People always ask, what's the best way to get commercials? And frankly, unless you're being proactive with like EDDM, postcard marketing, you can reach out to the Postcard Mania people. They can help you do that. But most of these companies, they're calling up off of the website. Literally, all three of ours came from from our brianslm.com. If you guys want to see an example of Brandon Bull's website, I bought my website at retail. I didn't ask my brother, hey, make me a free one and I'll promote you on YouTube and help you make millions. Nothing like that. We've never worked like that. We don't work like that. I bought my own website. But all three of these came from brianslm.com and the submission form page. Okay. So the first one, it's a commercial account. It's down to Tech Drive. Basically, they had called me and said, hey, we're looking for somebody. We're not happy with our last guy. I said, okay. I said, okay, so let's just go into the key issue. Because when people call, you got to ask questions, right? Let's slow down really quick. When a customer calls you, a new customer calls you, it's not just, hey, here's what we do. Yeah, we mow, we trim, we blow, we buy weekly edge, we charge card on file / cash out end of month. Really simple. We're there on Wednesdays. Okay, cool. That's what you do. But you have to understand, like, we're in the discovering business. We gotta excavate. We gotta dig. We gotta be finders. Like what's going on? Why is your site 2 weeks into the season, 3 weeks into the season not taken care of yet? Residential or commercial. What happened to your last guy? What did you not like about your last guy? In fact, I called a commercial site right down the road, side tangent, from where our company is, and their grass was 8 inches tall. I called them and I said, hey, we're just want to touch base really quick. Maybe you can point me in the right direction. I'm a lawn care landscaping provider here in the area. We drive by your site every single day, and I noticed the lawn was like 6 inches tall. Hey, we're like 3 weeks into the season for most of our commercial sites. I'm not sure what's going on with your guys' property in terms of like maybe the other provider and contractor. But if you guys are looking for a quote or a bid, I'd be happy to submit one. Would you guys be open to having a quote? And the guy said, well, actually, he goes, I know the lawn is getting rough. He goes, I'm the office manager here, medium-sized commercial site. And he said, the problem is that our corporate office has not paid the last guy. He said, so I don't know what's going on there. He goes, I know that they haven't been paid. And that's why the company that we work with hasn't started the spring services. They haven't been paid yet for some of the winter invoices, last I understood. Wow, that's very revealing. I mean, that's an ace, of an answer, but that's a very revealing conversation. So I'm thinking to myself, well, crap, if the last guy's not getting paid, now it could be debating about maybe they offered services that the company doesn't believe they rendered, so they didn't have any logs. It could be maybe the company is actually broke. And you guys think like big companies, like, big offices, 200 cars out front, millions of dollars in contracts, who knows what they do for their product or service. Oh, they got to be killing it. You don't know that company could literally be bankrupt. They could literally have no money in the till, no money in the coffers. It happens way more than you think. Don't just think because there's a 200 cars out front that those people are good for it. I mean, i.e. Toys R Us. There's people doing millions of dollars of snow and salt work for those guys. And Toys R Us was belly up and going into Chapter 11. And unless you're like very, very privy to that info, you don't know. And you're just out there slinging salt, doing snow. And that's why I say like snow and salt's like a game of hot potato. And you better have good contracts and good lawyers too. Anyway, so that commercial site, sometimes it is a red flag. And I said, oh, well, maybe we're not the contractor for you if they're not paying the last guy. And the guy goes, yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. He goes, I'll take your number, though. If something changes, I'll let you know. Who knows? It could have been on either side, right? But when he even throws his own company under the bus, respectfully, that it is what it is. Maybe it's not the right kind of client. By the way, I called another one that similarly had 6 inches. By the way, I'm calling on these customers too, right? We talked about with my last episode with my brother Adam, Brandon Bull, like play offense with your marketing, right? Like if you're just waiting for the leads to just come to you, I think that's where some people just get confused about how to grow a real business. Like, dude, we literally getting 30 calls a day. I'm calling 5, 10 people. I'm out there when you want to grow and you're trying to get new customers, right? You need to chase down leads. You need to sell. You need to be out there trying to earn the business. I don't understand sometimes maybe the disconnect. I called on 10 sites last week. All of them had 6 inches of tall worth of grass because it's really easy to identify which people don't have contractors. But you know what? Sometimes those are like the rough clients, or the ones that have their issues or their reasons, or they're broke, or their last guy didn't get paid, or something's going on at the company. So you got to be wary of that. By the way, you can call on companies that have fresh stripes and say, hey, I see you guys have fresh stripes. You guys have a contractor. Would you guys ever be open to another bid? Like, dude, you could take 10% of all commercial accounts right now from somebody if you were just so aggressive like that. And you think all these people are under contract and they're locked down, maybe. But every single one of these people, if they have a brain cell, would take another bid and take a look at your company. It's just how bad do you want it? You're looking around like, where are all the commercial leads? Like, where are all the commercial accounts? And I'm like, you driving 3 square miles, probably past 100 sites that could take a bid, and 8 of them would switch to you if you really wanted to pursue an aggressive campaign to take those accounts. Well, that's not right. Well, I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world in the business world. Like, I love all my lawn bros, but it is competition still at the local level, right? Now, make friends, don't take them from your other friends that are your subcontractors and your lawn buddies, but the people that you don't know, or the people that are jerks, that's free range right there, boy. So let's do this really quick. One other commercial site I called on, and we'll get into these other 3 tips and accounts that we got. I called, and grass was 8 inches tall, and I call up, same thing, called the office manager, and he picked up or whatever, and I go, hey, just looking see if you guys want a lawn care service, blah, 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 the whole song and dance. And he goes, hell no. He goes, my owner's broke. Or what did he say? Hell no, my owner, he's cheap as hell. He goes, I can't even get him to, fix the lights here. He goes, you think I'm going to get him to, pay $1,000 a month for the grass or whatever? And it was like so taken back. I go, yeah, no, that's funny, dude, for sure. He goes, man, he's so cheap. I can't get him to do SHIT around here. And I go, okay, cool. So obviously this guy's cheap or stingy, decent sized business. That was the ironic part. Like, there's 30 cars in the driveway. But again, who knows? Maybe they're broke. Maybe they're cheap. I don't know. So any which way, we're always trying to ask questions, right? So let's go back to commercial site number 1. I said, hey, what happened to the last guy? They go, they just weren't reliable. Okay. What do you mean by not reliable? I said, what was the issue with it? I said, why are you calling me? Why are you guys looking for bids? And they said, we were tired of having to call them to come on out to do service. And I had asked, I said, well, were you guys on a weekly schedule? Right? Duh. And the guy goes, oh yeah. He goes, but we had to call them every time and figure out where they were at. They would never show up. I said, hey, no problem. Let's call his name Mark. I said, no problem, Mark. With our company, here's how we work. We talk one time in February or March. We lock down the lawn care contract. And then I call you back in Halloween, October. And I say, hey, we're all done. Let's talk snow. I said, that should be the amount of conversation you and I have. My goal is to make this completely stress-free as possible for you. You guys don't need to be chasing down my company 30 times and having 30 phone calls and 30 problems. That's not how it works. I said, Mark, it's a very simple business that a lot of people seem to make very complicated. I said, we are not like that. If there's ever an issue, you have my cell phone, call or text anytime. I'm always here for you. But that's how our company works. We do weekly Mondays. We will here to take care of your site. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. That was it. So what was his hot button? What was his big issue? They were sick and tired of not having somebody reliable. And people always say, how do you get successful lawn care? And I talked about it in our book, 0 to 100K. I said, the secret is not really anything that most people think. The secret is mowing the grass every single week for 26 to 34 weeks straight, whatever your season is, every single week for 15 years. That's the Brian's Lawn Maintenance key to success. We have a 99.5% on-time rate. Your grass is cut the day of, or maybe the day before, the day after, but every week, God forbid anything happens. But dude, we've had deaths in the family. We've had our wedding. We've had our babies be born. We've had, earthquakes. There's been hurricanes. Maybe the hurricane week we skipped. There's been snow. There's been downpours. There's been equipment breaking. There's been employees quitting. There's been foremans out with injuries. There's every single thing that you can imagine, folks. We've been parents dying, weddings, friends' weddings out of town, friends having babies, my brother having a baby, food runs, where we've been part of food runs. We have to get food over to somebody who had an incident or an issue or a baby or cancer or whatever, bringing them a hot meal. We're on the food run that week. Church stuff, Wednesday church stuff, Sunday church stuff, Saturday church stuff. golf outing leagues like that we get invited to or something like that, which would go like once a decade. Okay, like no matter what, the lawns still get cut. So before you get all ambitious about changing your logo, before you get all ambitious about changing your website, before you get all ambitious about dropping 15 grand on a new lawnmower, I would say, how are you doing with your actual schedule with being on time? And what is your brand recognition, your name recognition out there in the marketplace about being a reliable provider? Okay. And by the way, maybe you are good at that. You know what you need to get good at though, is making sure that that's a public story. Making sure that you have 50, 80, 100, 200 reviews that capitalize on that success. That was a campaign that we had last fall. We went from about 60, 70 reviews to about 107, 110 5-star reviews, which I'll get into number 2, how this paid dividends. Because that lady literally signed up, second company I'll talk about in a minute, literally signed up based on reviews, okay? All right, which was just awesome. All right, basically, I gave a whole quote. This is a quick nuance. I gave a quote, let's say it was like $7,000, whatever, for lawn, weeding, landscape beds, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and it's 8 inches tall, and I was like, hey, Mark, we're going to do a spring cleanup. We're going to have to do a one-time mow. Your first bill is going to be $400 or $500. I mean, it was like a $145 weekly cut. And I said, but we can get it all back in the shape, no problem. Sent him some preliminary numbers via email. He said, this sounds good. Let me take it back to my boss. I said, sounds great. He came back about 4 days later. I was actually mowing my property. He called me on a Friday. And I said, hey, he said, hey, we like what we see. We like what you're saying, but we need this contract to be half the price. And I was like, okay. I said, why? And he said, well, based on what we were paying our last guy, that's where the numbers came in last time. So we need this to be about half the price. And I said, well, why? And he said, well, and again, this is a sales technique, but let him do the talking. And he said, well, that's just where our budget is. And this is just what and I said, hey, Mark, I said, you're calling me because you weren't happy with the last guy. You said that you weren't happy with the service, and he made your guys' life hell because you had to call him every, 3 days. I said, to be totally honest with you, Mark, these are 100% market rates. This is 100% what it costs to do the job. Apologies that your guys' budget isn't there or wasn't there. But I also will just tell you candidly, I'm not trying to be a butt, but this is why you guys are being frustrated. I said, I'm willing to meet you a little bit. I can sharpen the pencil, but these are market rates. I said, there's no way we're going to be able to do this for half this price. We're not going to do it for half the discount or a quarter discount on this. I said, just to be honest with you, that's our price. I said, this time of year, I know you guys are going to be struggling to find a vendor that's going to be able to take you guys on. Pretty much everybody's full or not interested in more work at this time. We do have a little bit of route left on our Monday that we could take on your site. So if you guys are interested, let me know, and we can get this on the schedule starting literally next week. It's up to you. This is Friday at 10 a.m. And my point is, a couple takeaways, as you can imagine. Number one, I'm not going to discount my price. Number two, they clearly were having bad service because of a bad price. Or, just the guy was just bad. Even if it was a good price and the guy's bad. Sometimes that happens too. But it takes, and again, you don't just... I did a podcast episode probably about 6 weeks ago talking about black holes in your commercial bidding process. Really, really good commercial podcast about getting commercial sites, like a part 2. And I basically just said, like, there's times when you have to, like, educate people. And I said, hey, and this via email, I said, hey, Mark, if you want me to explain this to the brass, because again, it's not him, it's his boss. I said, and he doesn't want to feel like an idiot. He wants to get a good deal. He wants to get an attaboy. One of my lines is, hey, Mark, my job is to make you look good. One hand washes each other and they both wash the face. Ha, ha, ha. He goes, oh, no, I get it. But I said, hey, Mark, if you're not comfortable explaining this to your boss, like, why would you let's say this guy's an engineer. Why would you let an engineer sell his boss? He doesn't have any skin in the game. He's not here to sell. He's not a salesman. He's an engineer. So how do you think he's going to sell your business to his boss? They're looking at it with graphing paper and accounting mindset saying, well, this guy's $2,000, this guy's $5,000. What's the difference? I don't know. All this guy does is make tall grass short. That's not the that's not the distinction with my company and the last guy. We're a professional outfit, blah, 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 blah. The other guy's a bum, blah, 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 blah. Right? So I said, hey, Mark, if you're not comfortable having this conversation with your boss, I said, let me know and I'll help you explain it to the brass. That's usually like a go-to. Let me know what the team thinks. Let me know what the management thinks. Let me know what the brass thinks. And I said, I'm totally transparent. I would love to share my numbers. I'll tell you exactly how we came up with them. This is just what it costs to do business. Anyway, A lot of words just to say, maybe about an hour later, not even, I think, still mowing my property. And he calls me back and says, hey, we want to go with you. We want to give you guys the business. We're going to go for it. We're going to spend some more money. We want to go with a reliable outfit. We want to go with somebody who's reliable and somebody that is going to take care of the site that we don't have a problem with, right? The initial listen, there's a quick takeaway. This would be like a soundbite. This is not, the problem was not the price, right? The problem wasn't, the main conversation that started everything wasn't price. It was the guys weren't reliable and doing a good job. So if I would have satisfied the conversation about dropping my price down 5%, 10%, 25%, the 50% that they requested, which was just, absurd, it wasn't even the conversation. The main thing is to keep the main thing, right? The main objection, the main problem they had was, as you guys can imagine, it was the reliability of the other company. So I didn't drill down on price. I said, Mark, totally get it. This is sales 101, folks. I didn't say, hey, Mark, I'm willing to, sharpen the pencil 10% and help you guys. No, I said, Mark, you called me because you want somebody reliable. You want reliable people. This is the price. This is the price for reliability. This isn't the price for tall grass short. This is the price for reliability, weekly mowing for 27 weeks straight, 29 weeks straight, and you don't have a single problem. Boom. That's it. All right. So we locked that one down. A small account. Who cares? Okay. I don't know. It's like $5-10 grand, or $5 to $7 grand. It wasn't anything wild, but you know what? It's $5 to $7 grand of lawn. It's another $7 to $10 of snow and salt. Okay. So that's a $12,000 to $15,000, whatever. And if we make 25-30% true net profit, then that is a $3,500, $4,000 conversation. Okay. So super excited about landing on $3-4 grand of profit. The Fullerton family could definitely use that. And that's going to, go right to all my concrete for the barn. So, all right, let's keep it going really quick. Number 2, another business. Lady owns a small business in the area. She's down at Tech Drive. It's hard. I don't want to give away like details because, man, a lot of people local are listening to the podcast locally, which is crazy, which is awesome. It's a national show, if you will, quote unquote. But man, I got people in my backyard, which is great. Those are all my buddies, but lay off my sites. Okay, people, don't take my sites either. All right. Lady has a small business. Anyway, she called me. She got my info off the website. She actually called, but she had emailed me too. And I didn't know that until like an hour later because I wasn't looking at my phone email at the time. I was probably mowing my lawn or out with the guys, one of the two. But I know I got a submission form from her as well. And so anyway, she calls me. I picked it up. I rarely pick up my phone, but I picked this one up. Hey, my last guy, again, not reliable, and he's missing all my beds. And I said, what do you mean he's missing the bed? She goes, well, he's not spraying the weeds or pulling the weeds in the beds. I said, okay. I said, we can get your quote, no problem. Basically the exact same conversation as last guy. She said, when people show up to my property, this was her hot button. I wrote this down. Hot button. Remember hot button. People are showing up to my property, to my commercial business, and I don't like the image that is my front landscaping gives off. I'm a small business. It doesn't look very presentable. I said, totally understand. No problem. I said, let me get you some numbers. I shot her an email with a couple like preliminaries. So the commercial contract that we have at launchpreneuracademy.com/store, that's a commercial contract we use. I don't just fill it out, then send it in. Typically I shoot them an email because I'm not going to fill it out 8 times when they want to adjust pricing. I say, hey, here's our 7 line items. Give me yeses or nos of which ones you want. Mowing, weeding, flowers, pruning, fert, irrigation, spring and fall cleanup, mulch. Those are our 8 things. By the way, you can have 12 or 15 things. Christmas lights, fall flowers, with mums, landscape fertilization, annual pruning, monthly pruning, whatever. Every region's different. Change those A through J's to whatever you want, okay? So she said, yes, yes, no, yes, yes, no, whatever, right? I said, okay, cool. So I gave her the numbers, and she goes, wow, you guys are a little bit more expensive than the last guy. I said, for sure. I said, but this is the price you pay for reliability, and you said you wanted a presentable image for the business. I know exactly what you're talking about. I drove by the site. I did a drive-by. I saw what it looked like. I said, we can get that all cleaned up for you, no problem. And again, I said, let's say her name is Tammy. I said, hey, Tammy, again, I know the price is a little bit more. She was paying, a couple $100 a month flat for all the services for lawn and then again for snow. And I said, there's just no way. I said, we're almost double that just for the lawn. That's outside of a la carte landscaping. the snow and salt, we can work with you. I said, we're going to be about double that for a flat rate monthly. Smaller commercial site, about 3/4 an acre commercial parking lot. I said, we might be able to do a flat rate for about double the price, but all inclusive. I said, if you do per push, you might get lucky on that with a November or a March billing. But I said, December, January, February, there's no way. It's going to be double, triple. She goes, okay, that's fine. I said, well, if you'd like us to, put you on the route, let me know. We got a little bit of room left. That's my line. We got a little bit of room left because they know I'm selling. They know I'm selling. We're all selling. Everybody's selling. But I said, I got a little bit of room left on our commercial route for Tuesday. We'd love to take care of the property. I said, make it stress-free and get it all cleaned up here. We can have it all cleaned up by the next week or two and make it look nice. And so anyway, that was via email, then a phone call, and then she emails me, I don't know, a couple hours later and says, we were doing one of our car dealership commercial accounts, and she said, I'd like to go with you. I'm going to let the last guy finish through the month. I don't want to just totally cut him out by the knees. She goes, but I am done with him, so you guys can start June 3rd or whatever the first Tuesday of the month is. I said, Tammy, sounds great. I'll get you a contract. All we need is a signed copy of page 2 to execute, and then we're off to the races. That was it. Super simple, nothing crazy, no big deal. But her hot button was, I'm tired of the place not looking presentable. The other guy, he's not reliable and he's not taking care of my weeds. Like I'm telling you guys, some of you guys are like 20, 25 and you're thinking cars, clothes, girls, tech. And when you're talking to a 40 or 50-year-old person, they're thinking image, quality of life, status, maintenance-free, headache-free, stress-free, right? Like their priorities change. So that's why you have to be an investigator of what these people's hot buttons are, because you're like, oh, we're better on price, or we've got the shiniest mowers, or, we use a core aerator versus a spiker aerator. They don't care. They don't care at all. But I'm like, hey, you will never see the weed on your property for the rest of your life when you have Brian's Lawn Maintenance. She's like, oh my God, take my money. So let's do this really quick. Let's take another quick commercial break. I'm going to get a quick sip of water. I got one more commercial account that I want to help you guys out with, and we were able to secure the bag on this one. I think it's really helpful, especially a lot of you guys that come up with that bi-weekly question. We did break our cardinal rule, but it's for good reason. We did take on a bi-weekly account. I'll explain why here in just a quick minute. Hang tight.
When it comes to running a lawn and landscape business, there's always something to worry about. Are my drivers and crews doing their job? Are my clients happy? Are my trucks and machines safe? How can I make more money? Where can I save some money? With GPS Track It, you don't have to worry about it, because our software gives you a level of clarity and control over your business that you've never had. From real-time vehicle and asset tracking and optimized routing to efficiency reports and more, reach your fullest business potential. Call 866-845-1410 or visit gpstrackit.com/BrianLM to get started. That phone number and special link are in the show description. GPS Track It.
All right, guys, let's jump right back into it here. Do appreciate that. How about that for an audio soundbite? There goes your speakers. I'm drinking the Uptime Blood Orange. By the way, one of you guys did send me a case of it, which is funny. You guys do not have to send gift cards or any of that mess, okay? Please don't. It's just, it's awkward. I have probably $500 in $25 gift cards that you guys have sent over the last 2 years. I literally forget to even spend them. They're just sitting in the drawer. So I've been giving them to my guys like, hey, great job this week. Here's an extra $25. Thanks for staying late the other day. That's funny right there. Look, dude, I'm a real guy. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to get it all done. Sometimes some of the Cheerios fall outside of the bowl, okay? But the Blood Orange Uptimes, I'm on 2-a-days right now because Liz and I haven't slept in 2 weeks. Baby's doing good, but man, it's just one baby moves, the other baby gets up. One baby gets up, the other one moves. One fusses, they both fuss. Literally the other day, we were driving back from the property. Liz wanted to see it. Obviously, she hasn't been over there in about 10 days. And we were driving back, and baby started crying. It's about a 20, 25-minute drive. Baby started crying. Then Emmy started crying. Emmy started crying. Baby went nuclear. Baby going nuclear made Emmy go nuclear. Baby and Emmy going nuclear made Mama go nuclear. Then Daddy's gripping the wheel going, dude, my life is so different. My life is so different. Just a couple years. And I'm like, just keep swimming. Liz like, you're going to have to pull off the car. We're going to have to pull over the side of the road. And I'm like, that's a 2-hour commitment to take the baby out, breastfeed, do the deal. I said, that is not happening. We're 7 minutes away from home. Get home. We're eating like carry out pizza. And everybody's just like, it's quiet. Everybody's just staring each other down. And I'm like, Emmy's eyes are all pink because she was just, anyway, she's like, I'm like, you good? She's like, uh-huh. I look at my wife who's like eating pizza. I'm like, you good? She goes, yep. Which is always the, and our line is, I'm like, are we an effective team? She goes, we're an effective team. Oh man. Outside of me, Mr. Lawn Care Guru, I'm like, life is good, dude. It's just wild. It's just so wild, dude. And that's the 2 kids. We went at 3 or 4. Eric Hughes has 6. Some of you guys have 4. It's just wild. Like the almonds have 3. We're like, how do you do it? All right, let's talk about one more and we'll button this thing up really quick. We had another company reach out, let's say a nonprofit in the area. I don't want to give too many details away just from my local friends that are around here. But anyway, nonprofit reaches out. He says, hey, we've got a site we need managed. Would you guys be interested? Sure. This is via the website. I shoot him an email. He goes, you have a quick minute to talk? Typically the answer is no. I don't talk. I don't talk on the phone. I just can't. I don't have the time or the bandwidth. It's not me being a jerk. It's not me being a butthead. Hundreds of you guys call all the time on my phone. I don't mind that at all. I haven't answered my phone since putting my number on the internet in 2007 or 2016 or 2017. That being said, if you want to talk, dude, shoot me an email. And if you want to talk, buy a coaching call. Respect my time. I try to respect everybody else's time. If you got a question otherwise, though, shoot me a DM, shoot me an email. Of course, though, for a commercial account, they're not buying a coaching call, I guess. But I said, sure, I got a minute. Anyway, we talk. Hey, what's going on with the site? He goes, normally we do it. It's just really hard for us lately. We're looking to just evaluate hiring it out. We're just trying to get some pricing. I said, we would be more than happy to take care of it. It's in our route. We got a little room left on our Tuesday route where we can take care of it for you. That's my go-to line. Got a little bit of room left where we can take care of it. We actually legit have no room. We are literally jam-packed full. Like it's starting a second crew session, but this is by design. So we're literally full. We're full, like beyond full. And we took on 3 commercial sites just this last week and 2 to 3 new residentials. I'm bribing my guys right now to still take on more sites. And hey, if anybody want raises or bonuses, this is where it comes from. And so any which way, it's just funny. But he calls me up, says, hey, we're just looking to maybe sub it out. I said, sure. And right off the rip, he says, hey, we're just looking for biweekly. And I went, oh. I said, I didn't say that out loud, but I said, we don't typically offer biweekly, but I said, what's the condition of the site? What are you guys doing? And he said, well, it's a site that we intermittently use. We don't fertilize it. It's a couple acres. And we're just looking to make it maintained. Nothing super crazy. I said, let me get your price first, and we'll kind of work from there and see where we're at. Any which way, I drive by the site, I measure the site with Yardbook, with the measurement tool. People always ask, how do I do my measurements? I just literally use the Yardbook measuring tool. We get the turf acreage, and then I do a turf acreage rate, anywhere from $80 to $125 an acre. I know some of you guys are like, I do $150 an acre. I'm like, that's awesome. Good luck getting that around here. And that's not just me saying that. I'm telling you, that's just not a thing. And I got other guys that call me and they're like, I get $30 an acre. I go, holy shoot. I said, what are you doing? I'm like, there's no way you're making money on that. They go, I know, that's why I'm calling. I said, look, get it up to about $75, $80, $100 an acre. You'll be in decent shape. More edging, more trimming. You're going to be on the top end of that spectrum. Less trimming and edging. You're going to be on the bottom end of that spectrum. So it's about 1.5 acre site. There was no edging. And there's one building, a couple trees, and a fence line. That's it. So I said, we can do it for, I think it was $125 weekly mow. I said, and he goes, well, we're really only just interested in biweekly. And I said, just to save some money. Now, when I hear customers say just to save some money or to, we don't want to spend money. I've said this on my podcast before. I'm not looking for customers like that. I'm looking for customers that want to spend money with me. Right? I mean, that's an okay thing to say. Not every customer is for everybody. But I said, no problem. I said, here's what I can do. And we do this sometimes for some of our sites. We don't do this for any of our sites, just between me and you guys. But I told him, I said, here's what we do. And this was a thing I did do a long time ago before I said absolutely no more residential ever. I'm sorry, absolutely no more biweekly for our residential ever is we didn't just take I had about 15 to 20 biweeklies about 6, 7, 8 years ago. And the transition was, we didn't just go, and this might help you guys out. We didn't just go biweekly to weekly only because I couldn't afford to. You know, as tough talk as we all are sometimes, I'm like, hey, I couldn't afford to like lose those 10 accounts. I was like, okay, fine, I might lose 1 or 2. Now, some of you guys just might want to like, you know, break the cast, break the leg, just, you know, let's get it going and lose, 5 out of your 10. I get it. That would have put me in the hurt locker. So just candidly, 7, 8 years ago, I wasn't in a position to do that. So what you can say is, hey, it might be a 1 or 2 year transition. You say, hey, we're going to do, we're going from biweekly to weekly through June, and then biweekly thereafter. And then maybe the next year you say, hey, we only offer weekly service, right? Like you kind of bridge the gap. You kind of soft land. That might just be a helpful tip. And we might still do that with this commercial account. We'll see. It depends on how much I want to upsell and try to convince them and say, hey, I really noticed that the site last year, even July forward, it really did need it weekly. If we can work on that, we'd be happy to keep the site. And otherwise, we might not be interested in continuing on, just to be honest with you guys. And you pull it away, a little FOMO for the customer, and they might, whoa. We liked what you guys did. Yeah, it's only another, $1,500 for the year to make it look nice. That's an extra like $10 per person or, per HOA or per whatever for homeowner and the HOA. Like you can justify those prices really quick. Oh, it's another $200 a month. Oh, that's no big deal. Okay. But anyway, I said, hey, let's meet halfway. It's 2 acres wide open. Like I said, there's one building, a couple trees. It's literally just field grass. It's nothing super crazy. We had 2 mowers on it and a guy trimming. I think we were there for 30 minutes. It was no big deal. That was the first cut, which hadn't been cut yet for the season. Okay, so after that, it should just be blazing lanes, right? No big deal. But I said, hey, we can do 125 weekly through the end of June and July forward bi-weekly, and we wrap up around Halloween. And he said, yeah, that would actually work. Let me go back to the board. And which way is a week, or not a week, but a day later, a couple days later, I don't even know. Calls me back, says, yeah, approved, we're good to go. No problem. Let me draft up the contract, drafted up my commercial account contract, emailed it back over. I said, I just need a signed copy of page 2. We're good to go. Emailed it back. We started on Tuesday. But I didn't just say, hey, we'll do biweekly only, right? So 125 times, I don't know, let's say 14 weeks, because it's a 28-29 week season up here. We're already a couple weeks in. So if it was 14 at 125, let me see if I can do this really quick on the phone. 14 times 125 is $1,750. Like, not a big deal. Like, this is a waste of time. But we went from 14 times 1.5. Well, I don't know. Let's just say there's 21 weeks now at $125, and now it's $26.25 minus $17.25. I think I said. So that's $900 more of revenue. And again, I know some of you guys are like, $900, who cares? Dude, $900 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It keeps the schedule full. We're already there. It's a really simple site for us. Okay. It's just easy. This is low hanging fruit. It's on our main drag. But it took me 3 minutes of negotiation, 3 minutes of upselling, 3 minutes of me talking to the customer. Yes, I understand his wants on this site, no doubt about it. But for me personally, I'm not doing biweekly growth for any customer ever. I don't care if it's just field grass, April through June in Michigan. There's just no way. It's 6 inches every week. There's no way. I said, now I'm willing to work with you July forward. If the property's not irrigated, it's not fertilized. Sometimes it's actually worse. You guys know how that goes with weeds. But I said, nonetheless, I'm here to work with you. Let me know. And by the way, it's not just the $2,600 that it'll be for lawn. It's another, I don't know, usually it's like 1 to 2 to 2.5x multiple for the lawn for the snow. But let's say it's another, I don't know, $1,500 to $3,500, maybe $5,000 for the snow. Probably a little steep on the $5,000, but let's say it's another $2,500 for snow. So that's another $5,000 account. Okay, so the $5,000 for this thing. The other one's another, let's say 10 or so with snow. The other one's another 12 or 13 maybe with lawn and snow. That's 13, 10 is 23 plus 6 or 3 to 5. That's 25 grand of new business. That's 3 little commercial sites, 25. That's going to correlate to that extra 100 that our company is going to be up this year. By the way, like 3 or 4 years ago, we had 6 commercial sites. I think right now we're like north of 24. Okay, so your boy sandbagging behind the scenes, just so you guys know, things are good. Like we're growing our company like crazy right now. Like we're doing work. Okay, it's not all on YouTube. I've shifted gears from putting a lot of that stuff on YouTube, just for privacy reasons, as you guys can imagine, as the things continue to grow and more proprietary. I had somebody, this was like 2 years ago. Somebody was like, Brian's Lawn Maintenance is fake, and then I said, why do you say that? And he goes, well, I know somebody that knows you and knows your business in the area, and they said you don't do but a third of what you say you do. This was like 3 years ago, and I said, okay. I said, like, do you want to see my tax returns to prove it? Like, what would convince you otherwise? Like I need to convince somebody. But I was like, and this was like a mega troll on the internet. And I said, like, you don't even know my business. You don't even know my life. I said, like, I'm not telling you these numbers to impress you. I'm not telling you these numbers to not impress you. This is just where we're at. I've never done any of my content to impress anybody. But I said, like, what do you want me to show you? My monthly transactions of 30 grand a month in weekly maintenance? Like, what would prove it to you? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think's buying the trucks? What do you think's buying? Oh, you get a free mower. So that's 12 grand, bro. Like, that's like a dent in. That's not even a dent in any of the anybody's business. 12 grand. I mean, it's a chunk. Don't get me wrong, but dude, like we're spending gobs of that on pay, like multiples of that just for payroll every month. Like, where are you coming up with this? So if you're thinking a free mower is going to like just push Brian's Lawn Maintenance to the $500,000 mark, and that's why he did it, like you're really confused and you're really robbing my guys from their hard work and work ethic and success putting this company together, and the little bit that I get to contribute to as well. So back off for all the haters out there. People always like, well, you're a YouTuber now. I go, well, then why is my lawn care company going to probably do $500,000 by next year, which is a joke anyway. But I said, do $500,000. I said, and we'll probably take it to $1 million. And while you're still hating about all my YouTube stuff, we're still growing our regular company, growing by 6 digits per year. Okay. Again, what do I care? I got nothing to prove. Everybody's going to say whatever they want to say, no matter what I say. So God bless. In the meantime, I'll just go enjoy my family, my second kid, my house, and my barn, and the fruits of our labor, because that's all you can do is win. And that's what I want to see you guys do is win. And hopefully these helpful tips helped you guys win. Little end rant there, I guess. But in which way, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully these are just some helpful tips. Go back a couple weeks to learn maybe some more helpful nuances with the black hole episode. I thought that was really, really helpful. If there's anything I can do for you guys in the meantime, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM. I'm always here for you. And if you guys want to do me a quick solid, I will ask for it. I'm not too bashful to do so, or unabashful, or whatever it is. But leave us a rating or review. We haven't had any come in for like a week or two, which is a little odd. That means I'm not putting out enough good content for you guys or something. Or you guys have probably just all been working your butts off and haven't had 2 minutes to look down at your phone because we're in go, go, go mode. Super get it. Totally can relate. But if you guys do want to leave a 5-star and a couple sentences review, I'd love to read those next week for you guys on the podcast. All right. Thank you guys so much. That's what I got for you guys on today's show. Love you. Appreciate you. And we'll catch up with you guys here next week, Monday, with my boy, Sam Rinkin with Etch Outdoor. Hey guys, it's Brian.
And Liz.
Hey guys, we can't wait to see you at Together in the Trades, the summit for couples in business and marriage conference that we're co-hosting with Caleb and Brittany Allman. Guys, it's going to be going on July 14th and the 15th, and we can't wait to see you there. Liz, what else can they expect?
Well, this year we're turning it into a 2-day event. So you'll have a half-day sessions both days, and then there's time for activities and adventures and, coming back together in the evening as a big group. So a little bit more of like a retreat focus this year. Definitely out of, kind of our comfort zone, being out there in the mountains, and it's the perfect place to have a retreat at the end of our busy season.
Guys, we can't wait to see you there. Togetherinthetrades.com. Got a handful of tickets left, but we really hope to see you, your significant other. It's going to be a great time. Come strengthen your relationship, work on your marriage, and learn how to grow your business together as a power couple. We can't wait to see you guys there. Togetherinthetrades.com.
Tickets for the green industry's largest trade show and event, Equip Expo 2023, are now on sale. Brian has arranged a way to help you save 50% on registration for you and your entire team. Simply use promo code Brian at checkout to save half off, and we'll see you this October, the 17th through the 20th in Louisville, Kentucky. We'll also provide you a special link in the show description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.